they call a little green because of all these beautiful, lovely things. That last chord is enough to kill me. The chords. Hello, welcome to this video. My name's Dan, aka Lucid. I'm a singer-songwriter and bedroom music producer, and today I'm going to be finally, in terms of my life, I'm finally going to be listening to Blue by Joni Mitchell. So let's go. Anyone who saw my original Joni Mitchell discovery video, I did a bunch of different songs from across her life, and I cried so much. I don't think you understand. It was devastating. And I just really was just completely awe-inspired and moved by the poetry, by the beauty of the music and the imagery and the storytelling and all of that. And it just blew me away, absolutely blew me away. Joni Mitchell's kind of one of those artists who I kind of missed out on growing up because my parents were more pop listeners. In terms of music from that era, for me, it was all Queen and Michael Jackson and disco stuff, soul stuff. You know, my parents were dancers, so that was kind of the vibe. And so the singer-songwriter stuff, I really missed out on loads of it. And so that's something that's really great, kind of discovering it via the channel. And as an independent singer-songwriter person, she's really inspired me in a lot of different ways. But this full album I haven't heard. Actually, that song at the beginning, I don't know whether you noticed, but that's actually my song. It has not come out yet, so you're getting a bit of a tease here. It's actually going to be coming out hopefully beginning of September. I keep pushing it back because it's just want to make it perfect. Anyway, that song is called Boyfriend. Boyfriend? It's actually with a question mark on it. Yeah, so if you do want to be the first to listen to that when it comes out, then make sure to head over to my Lucent Music YouTube channel, which is the channel where I post all of my music, and you can check out all the stuff I've done in the past, and then you can check out the new music as it comes out. If you are new to the channel, then make sure to subscribe, and also make sure to let me know in the comments what I should react to next, especially if there's other Joni Mitchell albums that I need to listen to. At the moment, I've only listened to bits and bobs. This will be the first full album. That's enough waffling. Let's get on to this video. I've got the lyrics ready on my phone, so I've got it loaded up on the YouTube because it's not on Spotify. Let's go. This first song is All I Want. Ooh, okay. Is that a guitar? It might not be. Really interesting timbre in that stringed instrument. It's quite thin.
I am on a lonely road and traveling.
Ugh. Looking for something. Inspiration. Ugh, I love you when I forget about me. Wow.
Alive, I wanna get up and drive. Do you wanna dance with me, baby?
Ugh. Just the way her melodies just flow are just so stunning. Ugh. And her chords are just always just so stunning.
Bring out the best in me and in you too.
Bring out the best in me and you too. She wants it to work out, but maybe it's not. Because she's running away. Oh.
I heard you too. Then we blue.
Yeah, wow. Blue. Okay, so this is the first mention of the word blue. Maybe it's straight after an argument or something, and she's run away. Oh. Just the holding of that, the dynamics there were just so it was building up tension and just holding it. Fabulous. That's just insane. It's next level. I love that. That song really contains multitudes for me. The fact that she sets out that she's traveling, she's on that lonely road. She's I'm off. Maybe it's after a fight or something. All I want is for this to work out. And yet, here I am, off dancing with somebody else. What was it? Oh, I hate you some, I love you some. I love you when I forget about me. I love you when I forget about me. It's oh my God. I'm forgetting about my own personal protection when I'm just so in love with you. I kind of like forget about looking after myself. It's like a bit of a toxic relationship, like the kind of passion in it, you know. Wreck my stockings in some jukebox dive. Do you want to dance with me, baby? Do you want to take a chance? So she's like, they're kind of out picking up a new guy, you know. She's out there kind of saying, you know, our relationship, I love you, I want this to work, but like you've hurt me and now I'm going to go out and hurt you, and all it does is make the both of us sad, so we just need to work this out. That's all she really wants. All I really want our love to do is to bring out the best in me and in you too. God, it's just so simple but so good, isn't it? I want to talk to you, I want to shampoo you. It's just like ugh. I want to renew you again and again and again. Applause. Life is our cause. When I think of your kisses, my mind seesaws. Do you see how much you hurt me? So I hurt you too. Then we both get so blue. It feels like it is setting up the album in a way, because it's setting the stage of their romance, you know? Like, she's telling us, like, there's a troubling element to their romance. She goes out and tries to get revenge because he's hurt her. And it's that kind of, like, very passionate but very like to and fro relationship. Just, oh god, everything about it. The levels and the textures in the different stringed instruments just like layer up really nicely, and just the chords that she uses always just have such beauty to them in the way that she just like pins them together, but they're not like diatonic obvious chords. There's always something really interesting going on with the chords, but it always flows so naturally and so beautifully. It's just, that's what really like inspires me so much, really musically. The use of harmony, you know, it's just amazing. Okay, cool. Next song. This is My Old Man. So we've gone to the piano.
My old man, he's a singer in the park.
God, her voice is just angelic.
Dance in the dark.
Oh.
We don't need no keeping us tight.
Na, 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 na. Oh.
He's my fireworks at the end of the day.
Wow.
Be that warm chord.
Oh, the chords.
Keeping away my blues. Me and them lonesome.
Wow. It's really taken a turn. This one plays with some really dissonant notes, doesn't it? But returns to this really like gorgeous like home root chord. It's like that sense that even though there's these jagged edges, she still just feels that love, and she goes back to that home place, you know, musically.
Keeping us tight and true. No.
She's like, we don't need to get married. Ugh.
He's gone.
It's like the two sides of this relationship, and musically you can really hear it shift, not only in the chords but in the dynamics, because it gets really kind of quiet and like solemn until it kind of opens up again. It's just genius.
He's a dance in the dark. Paper from the city hall.
Even that little note, na, 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 it's got a little bit of dissonance in it, isn't it?
Dancing blue.
Gorgeous. Oh my god. There's a real lightness and beauty and romance to that song, but she like belies it with those little chromatic moments, na, na, that kind of come in and almost like are haunting the piece. It's almost like even though she's feeling all these like beautiful, lovely feelings in the moment, there's this doubt creeping in those chromatic little moments, and then it kind of reveals itself in those two moments where the dynamics pull back, it becomes a little bit quieter. I think it moves into the key center is difficult to kind of find when she's really playing with it all the time, but it kind of seems to like move into a more minor place and is a little bit more like kind of shut off, almost like a little bit wounded, and she goes to a place that's much more like, this is the other side of it. Yeah, and it's just so genius the way those two things are intertwined, and just like then when she comes out of it with that beautiful high note, it's just like so elegantly written and really shows the two sides of this relationship that they're like, it's like, I love you and you are my sunshine in the morning and my fireworks in the evening. But also you make me sad, like, you know, when you go away, when you leave me, I'm alone, you know? It's like, fucking hell, it's just amazing. a singer in the park, he's a walker in the rain, he's a dancer in the dark. So all beautiful things that this man is. Like, he just walks around the park singing, walks in the rain, he doesn't care, you know, and he dances in the dark. Like he really just like expresses himself and is joyous and brings joy into our life. We don't need a piece of paper from the city hall keeping us tied and true. My old man keeping away my blues. So she's still mentioning the word blue, but in these moments, he's keeping them away. He's my sunshine in the morning, he's my fireworks at night, he's the warmest chord I ever heard. Oh, play that warm chord, play and stay, baby. I bet that chord, or that moment was really good as well. But when he's gone, me and them lonesome blues collide. The bed's too big, the frying pan's too wide. Oh my God. She really misses him, and I think she's realising that there's such dependency that when he's not there, she really is struggling, you know? Yeah. And it's like she trusts that he's there, but there's just this sense of like emotional dependency that's almost toxic in a way, because like, especially when we were looking at the first one as well, when they seem to be like fighting one another as well, you know. I might have to close the windows. The sirens are quite loud today. Maybe I shouldn't have murdered all those people. Just astonishing, like, how she can, like, weave together a song that, like, shows the multitudes of a relationship. It's not just, like, I'm in love, blah, blah, blah. It's, like, here are all the sides of it, you know. God, amazing. Okay, next song. I guess this could be a long reaction if I, like, spend 25 minutes talking about each song. This is Little Green.
Wow. Call it green for the children, little green. You went to California.
That chord.
And she's lost to you.
I just love when she goes into that register. It's just so gorgeous. Like a strong falsetto, you know.
Like the nights when the northern lights perform.
Gorgeous. Oh my God.
Sorrow.
Interesting how all the instrumentation's on the right hand side and there's nothing really on the left apart from a few whispers, you know. I'm not sure what she's singing about. I might have to really read into the lyrics of the next one.
Have a happy ending. The northern lights perform.
Just a little green like the lights when the northern lights perform. It's almost like she's reframing the colour green, you know. Oh my God, that long note. Ugh. That last chord is enough to kill me. Oh my God. Oh my God. Just the warmth in that chord, just so stunning. It's the combination of all these things, you know, her use of her melody, her use of dynamics in her voice and in the instruments themselves, the use of harmony in the chords, like the use of tempo, the use of dynamics and all these things as well. She just has mastered every single element of these and just like instinctively like tells a story through all these different elements all combining into one thing. It's just like insane and beautiful. And like, even when you don't necessarily like pick out exactly what the story is, you can still get a feeling for it, because it's not just the lyrics, it's not just the music, it's not just the vocal performance, it's all of these things. Born with the moon in Cancer, chose her name and she will answer. To call her green, and the winters cannot fade her. Call her green for the children who've made her. Little green, be a gypsy dancer. So it's about child, right? Is it about her child? He went to California hearing that everything's warmer there, so you write him a letter and say, her eyes are blue. Is that the father who's left? Or, I'm not sure, like, the mother of this child has stayed at home and he's gone off to California to work or to move away or something. Just a little green, like the colour when the spring is born, which is so beautiful. Just a little green, like the nights when the northern lights perform. That's just the nights when the northern lights perform. Weary of lies, you are sending home. So you sign all the papers in the family name. You're sad and you're sorry, but you're not ashamed. Little green, have a happy ending. Is this about somebody who's like given up their child for adoption? Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh God. It's this Joni herself putting up a baby for adoption, named like they call her Little Green, because of all these beautiful, lovely things. Oh my God. But the father obviously left, and then she felt like she couldn't bring up the baby on her own, so she gave her up for adoption. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Fucking hell. I had no idea about this as like being part of the album. Oh, I just can't get over how beautiful the lyricism in that was. Like just all these like gorgeous little moments of the green, you know, reminding her, like talking about this little child that she adores but eventually has to give her up, you know. It's like, oh my God. Okay, next song. Fucking hell. This is Carey.
The wind is in from Africa. Sure is hard to leave you, Carey. I've got beach tar on my feet and I fancy French cologne. You're a mean old daddy, but I like you.
Wow. She's in a new place and she's homesick.
And I will buy you a bottle of wine. And we'll bright red devil who keeps me in this tourist town.
Yeah. So it seems as if this is like her moving to the tourist town, presumably LA.
I'll go to Amsterdam, or maybe I'll go to Rome. Fare thee wells now, the night is a starry dome. Beneath the maple moon, Carey, get out your key.
It seems like she's trying to embrace the kind of almost like nomadic lifestyle in a way.
You know it sure is hard to leave you, but it's really not my home.
Maybe she's leaving there to go home. She's certainly feeling homesick in a way, isn't she?
Have fun tonight.
Definitely has a bit more of a light-hearted feel, especially after the previous song. Like, oh my God. But like, I do think that there's, again, like with all Joni Mitchell songs, multitudes, you know, embracing some sort of traveling lifestyle, but she's really missing home at the same time. Her fresh white linen and the fancy French cologne, it's almost like maybe she's backpacking and she, you know, misses the kind of home comforts. And that's something that I felt when I did a lot of traveling. It was just like, I was appreciating like obviously the chance to do something amazing like that and actually like really making the most of every day, but there are always those moments where you kind of think like, I haven't been comfortable in a very long time, you know, if that's physically comfortable, mentally comfortable, you know, emotionally comfortable. And that's kind of the thing about the traveling life. And I think why like doing it for a really, really, really long time, like I did it for like 3 years, but like after that I was like, I need return home and go back to my roots, really. And so I'm kind of feeling that energy from her, despite the fact that the song has a real kind of like joyous kind of feeling to it. Oh, you know, it's sure hard to leave here, Carey, but it's not really my home. I'm guessing Carey maybe is a friend that she's met on her trip. My fingernails are filthy, I got beach tar on my feet, and I miss my clean white linen and my fancy French cologne. Oh, Carey, get out your cane and I'll put on some silver. Oh, you're a mean old daddy, but I like you fine. So it seems to be somebody like a friend or like a fling or somebody that she's met on holiday on her trip. Come down to the Mermaid Cafe and I will buy you a bottle of wine and we'll laugh and toast to nothing and smash our empty glasses down. Let's have a round for these freaks and these soldiers, a round for these friends of mine. Let's have a round for the bright red devil who keeps me in this tourist town. Red wine, right? She's kind of like, let's just keep partying, because like if we're kind of on that kind of party level, I forget about being homesick and I can just keep going. Maybe I'll go to Amsterdam, maybe I'll go to Rome and rent me a grand piano and put some flowers around my room, but let's not talk about fare thee wells now. The night is a starry dome and they're playing that scratchy rock and roll beneath the Matala moon. And then she ends it with that verse again about missing home. It's a song about like, you know, transient lifestyle, feeling like you could do anything and going out and partying and dancing and having a great time. But on that kind of second level, there's homesickness and there's this kind of feeling that she's outrunning something, you know. She's like, I could just keep going to all these new places and I could just keep drinking wine because that's the only thing that's keeping me. It's the alcohol, the party that's keeping me here, you know. It's like she doesn't actually want to be there, you know. It's like levels to it there, you know. There's always just, every single song has like just so much. Yeah, really cool. Okay, next song. This is Blue, the title track. Wow.
Songs are like tattoos.
Wow.
Sail away. Hey, blue.
Wow.
Space to feel.
Oh.
So many sinking, now you're also laughs.
This feels like more existential, I think.
Hell's the hippest way to go. Well, I don't think so.
Wow.
Here is a shell for you, a foggy lullaby.
Wow.
From me.
Oh. Oh my god, that last chord. Oh my god. Wow. Oh my god. Just amazing. It was the moments of quiet, the moments of silence, the moments where like she build up all this stuff going on the piano and then bring it back and just sing like really quietly and then just leave it. It's like, is it going to end? No, it continues. You know, it's like just a real mastery of dynamics. Like just like it just sweeps you away. You know, it's just everything. Blue, songs are like tattoos. You know, I've been to sea before, crown and anchor me, or let me sail away. So songs being like tattoos, it's like an idea that when you put it into a song and you record it, it's like permanent, you know. Maybe there are some negative things once you've put it out there that you can't take back. There's so many sinking now. You got to keep thinking and you got to make it through these ways. Acid, booze and ass. I did wonder whether she said ass in that moment, and I was like, that is like so beautiful. And that I was like, she can't have just said ass, but she did. Needles, guns and grass. Lots of laughs, lots of laughs. So there's a sense of that, like, in similar to the last song in the way that she's kind of living in the party, living in the kind of optimism to try and push through the blue moments, you know. Here is a shell for you. Inside you'll hear a sigh, a foggy lullaby. There's your song from me. Blue, maybe she's singing to sadness and saying, I'm going to embrace sadness and I'm just going to stew in sadness for a moment, even though part of me wants to keep pushing through and keep being optimistic. I think it's like her just saying it's important to feel your feelings, you know? Yeah, not what I expected from that song. I was expecting more of like a love song, you know? Let's go on to the next one. This is California.
Adopt a donkey from £3 a month.
What is my algorithm? Oh, wow.
Sitting in a park in Paris. They won't give peace a chance. That was just a dream some of us had. All the California.
Oh. Wow. Just how she hits that top note with such clarity. It's gorgeous.
Kiss a sunset peak, California. Met a redneck on a Grecian isle who did the goat dance very well, but he kept my camera in a cell. Hold on.
I think another one about traveling.
Cried out for you.
Yeah. So she wanted to return home to California, presumably.
California, I'm coming home. Get so low.
Oh, I love the use of the lap steel there. A rare foray into proper country. But I suppose that's the ode to California, the kind of home, you know, the nostalgic feeling in that connection to home through the instrument, you know.
I caught a plane to Spain, went to a party down a red dirt road, Rolling Stone reading Vogue.
This one's a bit more of a country song in the way that it's like a story as well, you know, and about returning home, you know.
Will you take me as I am, strung out on another man, lonely when you're walking, and there's more about the war and the bloody changes. Will you take me as I am?
Gorgeous. I just can't get over her use of melody and like that resonance in that place in her voice that just has such power to it. It's just gorgeous. And even then right up there, yeah, it's a real homecoming, that song, right? Represented not only in the lyrics and the story of the song, but also just in the instruments that she uses. Obviously, there's like a certain nostalgic quality for Americans and country music, and it kind of representing home. You know, it's something that really doesn't exist outside of America. And so I can imagine that if she's out traveling the world and she's feeling homesick, like that's the sound that's going to take her back home, you know? Oh no, she's Canadian, right? Wait, no, she is Canadian. But she lives in California at this point, right? And that's the reference. Canadian American. Okay, she's both. the point is nostalgia, isn't it? You know, and that's what she's really like bringing in terms of like the instrumentation on that. Sitting in the park in Paris, France, reading the news, and it sure looks bad. So she's in France now. They won't give peace a chance. It's just a dream some of us had. So there's something about that. Something's going on in the news at that point. 70s. Maybe this is the Vietnam War. Still lots of lands to see, but I wouldn't want to stay here. It's too old and cold and settled in its ways here. Oh, but California, I'm coming home. Going to see the folks I dig. Even kiss a sunset pig. I don't know what that is, but I'm all down. California, I'm coming home. Out traveling in Europe, and she's really looking forward to coming home because she feels much freer at home. She feels like in Paris it's a little bit too traditional. It's almost like she feels like she has influence in California, you know. It feels like she's comfortable and it's like her own place to feel herself, you know. She was having all these like beautiful kind of like adventures, and yet still she's thinking, I just want to be home. It's like what I was saying in the other song. What was it, in Carey? This is very much that, but like all about the homesickness rather than the party, you know. It gets so lonely when you're walking and the streets are full of strangers. All the news of home you read just gives you the blues. So there's so many blues throughout this album. It's full of blue, isn't it? It's like so beautiful how she's weaved the word blue into all these different songs. And it gets so lonely when you're walking and the streets are full of strangers. All the news of home you read, more about war and the bloody changes. So she's you know, admitting that like there's a lot of kind of pain and anguish in going home as well, like facing the reality of the Vietnam War. Everyone in the US at that time is going to be protesting the war and all these kinds of things, like lots of heavy stuff. But it's almost like she's running away from all of that, and she's realising that she needs to go back and experience it properly, and she needs to go back and reconnect with her roots. Loads of people that are all around her, and they're all strangers, and she feels very lonely, you know? Yeah, again, like something I can really relate to when I was out travelling. Like, I felt like I was having an incredible time, especially when I was in Japan, but it just like did get to a point where like you just felt like an island, you know, and it felt like all the connections I was making, I knew that they wouldn't be forever. I felt like I needed to be able to put down my roots and start building something that was going to last, rather than just like living from day to day, which is what I was doing. And so it's not California for me, but like England. Yeah, and even though the UK has all its troubles, and I don't agree with anything the government does, and you know, all these kinds of things, and there's a lot of like right-wing stuff going on in the UK and stuff as well, and like in many small towns I don't feel comfortable, but it's still my home. There's like those levels to it, you know, and so like returning home was like important for me. And since then, I mean, the pandemic then happened. I kind of went from like all to nothing, really. I was like out backpacking in America. I got back 2 months later, pandemic, couldn't leave my house. Was with my parents. Like, it was a whole thing. But I have been able to make the most of it and actually put down my roots and start building things rather than just living from day to day. Decided to take my lunch break because my housemate was playing really loud music, and thought, well, whatever. Cool. Okay, so the next song is This Flight Tonight. Ooh. Ugh. She just has the most unique chord voicings as well. Not the early one that you can wish upon. I love that. Nice.
You got that look so critical. Now sometimes I think love is just beautiful. Come on, light the candle in this cruel heart of mine.
Come on, light the candle in this cruel heart of mine. Right, so she's realising that she's in love with this person after she's already got on the flight, and she's like, got to turn it around. This crazy bird.
And they're playing.
Is it supposed to sound like this? That's a strange little production quirk. God, her voice is... every time I'm like, oh my god, her voice. Very nice. That one seemed like a bit more of like a kind of... like musically kind of felt settled, like it was like riffing on the same kind of basis. Going from landing and taking off... but like returning back to that chord. Maybe that was the idea. Maybe it was like returning back to the chord. She should be returning back to this person. It feels like she's regretting her choice to get on the plane, you know, and she's like, you know, actually maybe this is the person who's gonna kind of light my heart up again, you know. Look out the left, the captain said, the light's down there, that's where we'll land. I saw a falling star burn up above the Las Vegas sands. So she's gone back towards, oh wait, and maybe she's flying away from California, potentially. It wasn't the one that you gave to me the night down south between the trailers. Not the early one that you could wish upon, not the northern one that guides in the sailors. So the falling star burning up. So you gave me a star, maybe that was like the ring that you gave me, or like wishing upon a star, like lots of star references. Oh, star bright, star bright, you got the loving that I like, all right. Turn this crazy bird around, I shouldn't have got on this flight tonight. So maybe she's like having this realization that like there's like a different star, like there's a star that's like inspired her that isn't like the northern star, you know. She's like not like out for travel, she's not like wishing, she's actually got somebody there, and she's like, shit, actually I shouldn't have walked out, you know. Yeah, maybe it's like she walked out after an argument, like we were saying, like in the beginning she was doing a bit of that, but maybe this time she's actually walking out and actually regretting it. You got the touch so gentle and sweet, but you got that look so critical. Now I can't talk to you, baby, I get so weak. Sometimes I think love is just mythical. Yeah, so it's almost like in the moment she's like, oh, I can't deal with you, but then as soon as like she can't actually communicate with them, she suddenly starts feeling all these love feelings again, you know. Up there's the heavens, down there's a town, blackness everywhere and little lights shine. Oh, blackness, blackness dragging me down. Come on, light the candle in this poor heart of mine. Yes, there's a lot about light and a lot about like I love the kind of way that the poetry and the lyrics kind of cottons on to like little moments, you know, like little returning phrases and stuff and little images. I'm drinking sweet champagne, got the headphones up high. Can't numb you out, come drum you out of my mind. They're playing goodbye, baby, baby, goodbye. Up goes the flaps, down go the wheels. I hope you got your heat turned on, baby. I hope they finally fixed your automobile. I hope it's better when we meet again, baby. So it's almost like the flight that she's on is almost like this time capsule moment in time where nothing feels real. It's like she's up in the air and like she's just like in her feelings again. And then when she touches back down, she's like, yeah, I know I'm going to see you again, but like here's the reality of the situation. You know, it's like coming back down to earth literally and figuratively. Yeah. Oh my God, it's so good. Okay, next one. This is River, which I have heard. I remember hearing a lot of covers of it before I actually heard the original, and I had the original over on a Patreon request. Oh yeah, Merry Christmas.
Coming on Christmas, songs of joy and peace.
Oh, every time I hear this. It's just beautiful.
I'm gonna make a lot of money, then I'm gonna quit this crazy secret.
Skate away on.
I would teach you
Beautiful.
to fly.
Ugh. This is the one with the most beautiful melody, really. And more about the fight, you know. I made my baby cry and I just wish I could just get away from it all. I'm just gonna pack up and leave, you know, that kind of instant moment, you know.
You put me at ease.
And she's admitting that she wasn't really very logical, you know. Because she knows that he was good to her, you know.
Now I gone and lost the best baby that I
Yeah.
ever had.
So it really feels like this whole album is telling the story of where she is with this person, you know, and here she's admitting that she's lost that person, you know. Ugh. It's just incredible.
I could skate away on.
And I'm assuming it was like around Christmas time, which I think is a beautiful way to like tie in that and bring it back to a very personal detail.
Putting up reindeer, singing
Songs of joy and peace I could skate away on. Also, it's an ingenious use of that melody because it's like reharmonized and recontextualized, isn't it? Like in a really interesting way. It's a very sad ending as well. So beautiful, so stunning, that song, every time I hear it. And actually, like in context of the album, it really does add such a kind of like difficult and sad exclamation mark on the album, really, doesn't it? It's like, you know, we're towards the end. At the beginning, she's like, I really want this to work out. And then you're kind of realizing that she has this like beautiful thing, but it's not quite working out. And she runs away, you know, she flies away. She goes around Europe to Paris and to Greece and whatever, to almost like to discover herself, to kind of escape from it, hoping that maybe when she comes home that she'll be able to work it out. But it's seems that that's not the case, and now she's just like, I wish I just had a river, something, and I could just skate away and leave all this pain behind me. It's just such a simple image, that this idea of just like escaping. At this point, it's almost like she's come back and she can't escape it anymore. She has to kind of face reality, and the reality is that she lost this guy that was perfect for her because of things that she did. You know, she says that I was very difficult to get on with, and even though you were good to me, like, I treated you badly, and now you're gone. You know, it's almost like she underestimated how special it was, what she had with him, and thought maybe there was more out there, thought that she had to kind of go explore the world and do her thing before she settled down, and now she's regretting it. You know, that's really what this album is really giving me. Oh, I wish I had a river so long, teach my feet to fly. Oh, okay, sorry. Let's go on to the next one. This is A Case of You, which was another Patreon request about a year ago, actually. The context of the album, I think, is going to reshape the song for me. So let's give it a listen. There's such a kind of rawness to the recording as well that, like, really adds to the personal feeling, you know.
I am as constant as a northern star, and I said, if you want me, I'll be in the bar, in the blue TV screen light. I drew a
Blue, another blue. Yeah. Maps, travelling, home, country, and missing this person.
Drink a case of you, still be on my feet, or I would stay feet.
So beautiful. It's just so romantic, you know.
Lonely painter, love is touching souls.
Love is touching souls.
Out of me in these lines.
It's insane, isn't it? Like, you touched my soul, and that pours out of me. The holy wine, the beauty of this person. It's yeah.
I met a woman, she had a mouth like yours. She go to him, stay with him if you can.
It's the mother, isn't it? Yeah. It's the pouring of the blood and the wine and all those different layers to the lyricism that just so stunning. On top of that, like, insanely beautiful vocal, like. Yeah. I like how she doesn't necessarily end her songs on the kind of home chord if it doesn't need to be. Like, that one is obviously an open question still, because it's like, it's an unresolved thing. She's like admitting to herself that actually she's truly in love with this person in the way that they've touched souls, but she does still know it's not going to be an easy ride, you know. And so it kind of is unresolved because she doesn't actually say whether she does stay with him, you know, or she does go back to him. Maybe that's going to be answered in the last song. God, it's just like, it's just so wonderful. I think, like, there are so many layers to the lyricism in that song. Like, I remember when I went through it, like, it sticks in my mind so much because of the way that the colour of red and the wine and the blood and the drinking the case of you. When she says, you open me up and your love pours out of me. It's like so beautiful in its poetry, just the levels, because it just runs through every single word, every single lyric. There's a connection, you know, and it all connects to this central metaphor. It's just like to be able to thread that metaphor throughout the song in different contexts and for it to work together so brilliantly is just one reason why that song is just incredible. Like, there's also the beauty in the playing of the guitar and the instruments. There's also the insanely beautiful vocal that is just seems super powerful, but also very fragile at the same time, you know. It's like she really, really, really hits that nail on the head of like that beauty, but it kind of almost like tumbles out of her, you know. It's not like a prepared like belt. It's not like a musical theatre belt that's like set it up and sing and have the power. It just kind of like just tumbles out. It's just like, oh, you know, it's like almost thrown away, but it's just perfect. You know, it's just so many levels there. In the blue TV light screen, like again, she finds a way to work the word blue into it. Throughout the album, she's weaved the blue throughout all the different songs. In here, it's like the blue of the TV light, like it's like the TV is like on, it's like not on a channel, it's just like on. And there's a kind of monotony, there's like a feeling of loss, there's a feeling of emptiness to that, you know, if you're staring at an empty screen, you know. And so it kind of like has a different reference to it, you know. It's not melancholy, but more just like empty feeling. It's like almost like the whole album is weaved together with this word that like brings up so many feelings in so many different ways, you know. It's the bright blue sky, or it's like sadness, or it's somebody's gorgeous blue eyes, or it's empty feeling, you know. There's just so many different layers to this color that we all feel, and it ties all the songs together with this kind of subtext, you know. And I'm sure if I were to actually really listen to it like 25 times, I would still find things that more of that kind of stuff, you know. I will be doing that. Before we go on to the last song, this is a quick shout out to my patrons. If you haven't checked out the Patreon, it is a place for you to get all my videos unedited. You can get them ahead of people on YouTube as well. And of course, there's lots of different tiers where you can actually request specific reactions from me as well. And you can also get your name in the video, like all these guys. So thank you, everybody. Everyone here is currently pledged to Patreon and supporting me in my creative life. Well, there's also a really great little Discord community that's really picked up recently, thanks to the members who have started chatting again. Yeah, there's a lovely little community of people chatting about their day, chatting about music, you know, it's really nice. So head over to Patreon for all that good stuff. And if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, make sure to get into the comments and let me know what albums I need to react to, if there's any new albums coming up, or if there's any other Joni Mitchell stuff that I really need to listen to. Make sure to leave a comment. Let's go on to the last song. This is The Last Time I Saw Richard. The piano seems to be picking up where River took off, you know? So maybe it's a continuation. Oh, gorgeous. The little melodies that are hidden within that piano part, just so gorgeous.
The last time I saw Richard was Detroit in '68, boring someone in some dark cafe. Go look at your eyes, they're full of moon. Yeah,
go look at your eyes, they're full of moon.
Pretty lies.
Wow.
Only pretty lies.
When you're going to realise that they're only pretty lights. More of reference to light, you know. Obviously we had that in the Flight song.
And he pushed 3 buttons and the thing began to whir. You haven't really changed, I said. Now you're romanticizing some pain that's in your head. You got love so sweet. When you gonna get yourself back on your feet?
Wow.
So sweet.
Beautiful. When you're going to get yourself back on your feet, love can be so sweet. That seems to be a direct reference to Case of You as well, doesn't it?
And all the house lights left upright.
More reference to lights.
I don't want nobody coming over to my table. All good dreamers pass this way someday.
Just the dynamics there, like she pulls it right back and then comes back out again. It's just beautiful.
Cafe day.
Wow, the beauty in that last chord, just that little moment where it just waits before it brings in that last chord is just astonishing. Oh my god, like just beautiful. Like I can't, like just like it's just like she just has such a subtlety and such a nuance to every single moment. It's not just the vocals, it's not just the guitar, it's not just the piano, but it's all of it. All of it, and it all feels like one instrument. The whole song, every element of the song feels like one instrument, and they're all working together in this beautiful, beautiful way that just conveys like such a kind of huge like breadth of emotion. There's just such a moving thing about the way that it feels so human, you know. It's just gorgeous. And that's not to speak of the story. And, you know, like, there was a lot of references throughout that song to a lot of different things that happened throughout the album, you know. The last time I saw Richard, it was Detroit in '68. He told me all romantics meet the same fate someday. Cynical and drunk and boring someone in some dark cafe. You laugh, he said. You think you're immune. Go look at your eyes, they're full of moon. So, like, when she sees him in '68, she's, like, obviously, like, fully in love. That's the most beautiful line. You laugh, you think you're immune, go look at your eyes, they're full of moon. Like, it's just, like, that feeling of, like, you're wide-eyed, you know? It's just, stunning. You like roses and kisses and pretty men to tell you all those pretty lies, when you're going to realise they're only pretty lies. Oh, I thought he said pretty lights in the song. Maybe he's, like, warning her of, like, the trappings of, like, following your heart wherever it goes, you know. And maybe that's kind of like the whole learnings. She's kind of realizing that what he said to her before, like, the events of this album were true. They came true. Like, she left this person who was actually really good to her. She swanned off all over the world and met all these people and fell in love and had all these kind of beautiful moments, but then started to realize that there was a homesickness. She was really craving something that she needed to go back to. She needed roots. She wanted to go home. And she ultimately regretted breaking up with this guy. You know, I made my baby cry. I wish I was just a river I could skate away on and escape. I've lost the greatest man that I ever had. And it's almost like now she's looking back and saying, it was all true. Everything you said about me then, it's true, you know? Richard, you haven't really changed, I said. It's just that you're now romanticising some pain that's in your head. You've got tombs in your eyes, but the songs you punched are dreamy. Listen, they sing of love so sweet, when you're going to get yourself back on your feet. At that point, she was looking at him and kind of saying back to him, you know, yeah, you may say that, like, love is for cynics and we're all just going to end up in this bar, like, drunk, like, mooning over somebody. But you clearly still believe in love, because although, like, your eyes are dead, all the songs that you write are so beautiful and so full of love. And clearly that's still within you, you know, and it can be just so sweet just to be in love, you know. Richard got married to a figure skater, and he bought her a dishwasher and a coffee percolator. I'm going to blow this damn candle out. I don't want no one coming over to my table. I got nothing to talk to anyone about. All good dreamers pass this way someday. And so it seems as if she's now reversed. She's become where he was at the beginning. She's looking back at when they first met. He was this person who was jaded by love and was cynical and was sat in that thing, and she was the one all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed who was chasing love. And now she's been through it. She is him, and he is now moved on and is now settled down and is in love and is back in that place. So they've reversed roles. It's very, very poignant. She's looking at it and looking at the way in which her attitude has changed and the way that his attitude has changed since they last saw each other, and how the events of the album really led to that, you know. It's like so poignant to look at that reflection in a final song, you know. Only a dark cocoon before I get my gorgeous wings and fly away. Only a phase, these dark cafe days. And so in that last moment, although she switched places and is going back, she sees that it was just a phase. When she met him in '68, she knows that that was just a phase. He was just in a moment. And then he fell in love again and is now settled down and has a beautiful life. And has bought his wife a dishwasher. It's so cute. The details, just, so stunning. And she knows that it's only a matter of time before she's out of that cocoon, that sadness cocoon. I'm just gonna sit, and I'm gonna sit in the blue feelings for a while, and I'm gonna let myself cocoon until I can break free and, like, fly out again. You know, it's just incredible. And it's like the album is that cocoon, you know. It's the cocoon of sadness. It's like running away and trying to escape it, but realizing that you can't, and you have to face it, and just finally kind of admitting that she loves this person completely and fully, and that they touched her soul. But now she knows that she is just going to sit in this, and while she does, she will heal, and then she will leave again. You know, it's just, yeah, beautiful. The whole album is that cocoon, you know. The whole album is the dark cafe with the drinks and the partying and all that, you know. Just, God, so many levels. And, like, for it to, like, work individual levels, just right down to the minutiae, to the details, like the details of every single lyric in Get a Case of You, with all the different levels of the lyric in that song, like adding up to one metaphor, peppering in the word blue throughout the album. And she doesn't mention blue in this song, does she? And it's like, I think that's really key. Those details are just, like, so there. So it works on, like, such a kind of microscopic level, but then also works musically on every single song. Like the chords and the flow and everything works beautifully, and the way that the melody works is beautiful, and just, like, absolutely stunning individual songs. But then like for it to then also work on this kind of meta narrative of this album being this time in this cocoon, and to be able to sum it up in this last song, in a song that's about somebody that you met and how, you know, you're now in their place. It's just like next level, really, isn't it? It's just absolutely beautiful, the way her mind works and the way that she can see poetry and things. It's just incredible. And yeah, I think it's the attention to detail that really, really sells it for me. You know, every single thing is thought about. What a masterpiece. Absolutely just, I understand why she didn't have them on Spotify, and it's a protest thing and it's fine, but I just listen to everything on Spotify, so I just feel like I don't listen to her as much as I'd like to. I think I'm going to buy this on record, so I think I just have to get into the habit of playing my records a bit more. God, yeah, beautiful. Right, thank you so much for tuning into that. Absolutely adored discovering that album. I'm so glad I finally got to listen to it. Make sure to let me know what I should react to next in the comments, of course. And if you want to check out my Joni Mitchell discovery video, it is here. If you want to check out my original reaction to Case of You, it is here.